Alright, this stuff's pretty simple. Biggest thing you need right here, soapy water. Next up, we need some sandpaper. You're going to need some 400 grit, 600 grit, 1000 grit, and I would probably go with, a 1500 or a 2000 grit. 1500 seems to work good for the final coat. Trash bag or newspaper to cover the paint. Some tape to go around the headlight. Rubbing alcohol to clean it when you get done. You can use this, or you can use like a mineral spirit or something like that. Something that's not going to affect the plastic itself. Use like a brake cleaner or something that's really abrasive. It can weaken the plastic. It'll actually make it yellow faster. So don't do that. The final step you'll have is clear coat, and this is just a single stage clear coat. You have to make sure that it bonds to plastic. It's non-yellowing and UV resistant. That's the biggest thing. UV resistant. Well, on the Dodge Ram, obviously the hood and the grate comes down and it actually kind of halfway covers side of the part of the headlight. So to make things easier, I want to just pop the hood. What you want to do is you want to just, clean off around the headlight a little bit. And then take your tape and go around it. All you're doing is trying to protect the paint. Alright, got her all taped off. We're going to go ahead and start with our 400 grit sandpaper. We'll go ahead and wet the sandpaper really well. And wet the headlight. And just start sanding it. You gotta do a horizontal grit. You don't have to press super hard with this stuff either. It'll take the coat right off. But all you're looking for is to get that top coat off of there. That's what usually yellows. What happens is the UV sunlight actually affects the plastic, and it's on a chemical level. And it's on the first, very outside edge of it. See, I'm already starting to get some of it to come off. And you want to keep on wetting your sandpaper, get all that stuff off of there, because that's just going to plug up. Get the headlight real good too. And they sell kits to hook it up to your grill and do this and that, which is fine as long as you keep everything good and wet and keep it moving. You want to burn through the stuff or make huge grooves. I think we're about done with the 400. We'll switch up to the 6. See how well that does. Get this bottom real quick again. I like to make them good and clean. That way you can't see any yellow. Preferably if you can remove the headlight housing easily, I would say go ahead and do that. But there's kind of a bear on this thing, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Do it on the vehicle. Okay, 600 grit. Wet her down again. The finer the grit, the easier it plugs up, so the more water you have to use. Now, I'm definitely not a body guy. I'm not a big fan of doing paint, just because there's a lot of this. There's so much prep for paint. Keep it wet. Keep it wet. Biggest thing, keep it wet. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the 1000. We're rocking and rolling pretty good, why not? Keep it wet. Keep it wet. And this is all I did on the Jeep. I actually stopped at the 1000 grit and then just sprayed it. With this one, I'm going to be going to a 1500 on a grill. So I'm going to get a little bit of rotary action in there, and it just cleans it up a little faster. A little better, a little faster, getting all those fine lines out of there. I could have ordered a new set of headlights for this thing. I think they're on eBay for like $80. which isn't horrible. You know, you can spend upwards of 150, 200 bucks a piece on these things. Now it's for repairs, there's 80 for repairs, so it really wasn't that bad. All right, I'm gonna go a step farther. We're gonna try 1500 grit on a drill, and then we're gonna move to a 3000 grit actually. But like I said, you can stop right there at the 1000. It seemed to look just fine on the Jeep, but I'm gonna go just another step farther. Continue to wet it, continue to wet it. And the drill I get set on low speed. Keep that drill moving. You never want to hold it still in the same spot for too long. You don't want to hold it still at all. You want to constantly keep it moving at least a little bit. Getting closer. You're going to switch these pads out. This came out of a mother's kit. It was actually just a drill adapter with a Velcro patch. Same with the sandpaper. This is some super, super thin sandpaper. It's a 3000 grit. So we'll give that a shot. And it's kind of like a sponge too, so it should hold the water pretty well. And now that I'm getting down to it, I'm actually seeing some fine lines back behind the lens. It looks like it's on the back side of the lens. There's nothing really we can do about that. You won't even notice it unless you're right on top of it anyhow. Alright, just sanding it makes it look so much better. And I'm sure you can probably tell just from back there. But here, I'll get you a little closer. Quite a bit difference. So now we're going to go through, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my water around the sides, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put another layer of tape around it, because we're going to start doing a little bit of painting. And obviously you don't want to get the paint on the truck itself. It is a clear coat, so it really shouldn't matter, and the truck's so dirty it'll probably come off with the next car wash anyhow. But better be safe and sorry. Alright, it's already starting to look a little better. All I did was let it dry, cleaned everything off, dried up the tape from all the soapy water. The other thing I forgot to mention is that you need a razor blade just to cut the grocery sack or garbage bag, what have you. You can use just paper too if you want. All we're doing is we're covering it so that way we don't get clear coat all over the truck. Alright, now that you got everything masked off, what you're going to want to do is take your alcohol, your mineral spirits, your lacquer thinner. I probably wouldn't use lacquer thinner though, but your alcohol. You just want to take that and you want to get a cloth that is lint free, and that will help a lot too. The idea behind this is to get all the extra grit and sand and oils from your hands, because there's actual oils in your hands that can contaminate the surface, and that's why you need to clean it first. So let me grab a paper towel here quick. Alright, after you do that, you just want to wait a couple minutes and let the alcohol dry completely, and then we can go through and we can start doing a little bit of paint. And the idea with paint, if you've never painted before, you need to practice a little bit. Take just a can of regular primer or something. You want to be, 8 to 14 inches away. I usually like to be about 8. And then you want to do a sweeping motion. Start your spray way out, and then sweep across. Start it out, sweep across. Now if you start in the middle of the lens or wherever you're trying to paint, it's going to run on you, and then it's going to look like crap. And don't try to wipe it off. All that's going to do is smear and take everything. I mean, if you're going to try to wipe it off with a paper towel, it's going to take the particles of the towel and put it on the lens. Then you got to do it all over again. So if you do get a run, just let it dry completely. Maybe spray it, maybe go through and try to give it a little light coat the next time and see if you can balance it out. Otherwise, you just got to do the process all over again. Not that big a deal, just more elbow grease and more work. Alright, like I said before, clear coat. Non-yellowing, UV resistant. That's what you want. Shake that can, shake it up. Real wide, sweeping motion. So I'm going to start way over here, I'm going to start spraying this way. And that's why you cover everything, because you don't want any overspray. Overspray kind of sucks. Even though clear coat, you're probably not going to see it anyhow, but whatever. Real wide. Don't worry about your coverage right now, just get a little bit on there. You know, it doesn't look very good right now because it looks kind of shady, but that's just from the paint. Once it actually starts to dry, it should be fine. I'm staying far enough away from it. I'm probably a good 12 inches away from it, and I'm starting my spray way over here, and I'm ending it past. So, real long sweeping curves. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. We're going to give it about 5 minutes to tack up and get, fairly dry. We'll do probably 3 coats, which should be plenty. Another thing, obviously, dealing with paint, you want to keep everything nicely ventilated. And it's got to be warm enough to paint, and there can't be too much humidity in the air either, because water in the air and paint will make it look like crap. And today here at the shop, it's nice enough out. We got the door wide open. So, and we got the fans going. I could put out the extra fan, make sure that we get everything exhausted, but I think it's fine. 2 coats down. We're gonna do maybe 1, maybe 2 more, but as you can tell, it's already looking pretty good. Let that dry and see how she goes from there. Like I said, between about 5 minutes of coat's fine. Paint has what they call flash time, so you can either wait a few minutes, or like say you're spraying like a base clear, you spray your base, and then before you do your next coat, they have a flash time, meaning that okay, you can wait 20 minutes, let that dry, and then you got a window, about an hour window there where you can spray again. Otherwise, you have to wait for it to completely cure, and then go back over it with a tack cloth. Alright guys, we're going to do another coat. Start wide, end wide. And once this dries completely, I'll give you guys an after shot, and I'll try to post something that's before and after, side by side. That way you can see it. But yeah, not too bad of a job. Probably takes a good hour at least. Oh yeah, definitely an hour. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe up there if you want. I'll try to post some more videos. I know it's been a little bit, but yeah. Hey guys, Eli with Fulton Performance again. Just tapping in with another video here. It's been about a month since we redid these headlight lenses. As you can tell, they're still holding true. I get a feeling they'll probably last for at least a good year, hopefully 3. The whole idea behind that was sealing them with the clear coat. I think we'll start doing this service here at the shop. Give me a call if you want to quote on it, because all headlights are all a little different, how much prep work you got to do. But yeah, just give me a shout there. You can find our numbers on the website or email